I mean, it reached a breaking point for sure, because I was just realizing, as I was making art, videos, stuff like that for these artists, I had my dream job. I got a job through my art. Like, this was it. Like, this was the goal, I guess, right? But I was getting further and further and further from KARO because UMG was so time intensive, working these crazy weeks, and I would then start to go weeks without doing anything for KARO, and I started to feel emptier and emptier and emptier. And I was on set with these artists, and I would just be like, what is the difference between you and I? Why did you bet on yourself and I didn't? What makes me think I'm not good enough to do it? In these pages, I'm specifically talking about how scared I am of, like, what will happen? What if it doesn't go as planned? Like, that kind of stuff. It almost became crazy to me that I'm not doing it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
64 weeks ago, you celebrated your 100,000 followers. Let's put the art and creativity away for a second. Social media facing.
This creator, Anya, is a marketing genius.
What was the strategy behind your social media in gaining 200,000 followers in years? A lot of people.
I'm just counting on my hard work to manifest into the perfect place.
You know, you go into a new space and there's this new energy you're feeling, this inspiration, your ability to be in here and feel comfortable. Like, what is the effect that the studio has had on you?
Oh my God. Well, this is like the closest place to my apartment where I can touch grass. I don't know, something about being in nature really grounds me, and this is not, doesn't really look like it's very naturey, but in the springtime, which is when I was here, I was gonna sign the lease on, I think it was like March 26th.
For your studio?
Yes, for my studio. I came here because I was having such a freak out. It took me a second. I couldn't figure it out for a second. I just knew that I felt this huge, huge pit in my stomach.
So you had to come here.
Yes.
And what were some of like the recipes for kind of easing yourself, if you were able to?
I sat on that bench over there, right there. I also phoned a friend. I called my friend Jessie, and I was like, I can't tell if I'm about to make the stupidest decision, if I'm qualified for this, who gave me the right, I didn't consult anyone, I don't know what I'm getting myself into. It's such a big space, it's such a big commitment, it's such a big financial endeavor, it's such a risk because I don't have necessarily something to fall back on. A year ago, I was feeling the exact same thing for quitting my job. There's so much going on right now. I want to quit my job. I want to bet on myself. So, what the is KARO? KARO is my art brand and my artist alter ego. Anytime I had something that I was struggling with, I made the time to go into my dorm room and make the art, and it was healing. But again, it was so just like, oh, this is for fun. But in my head, I was like, there is something that I want to do with this because it's my favorite thing in the world. But like, how can I make it a thing? And so I started KARO Crafts, like the Instagram page in my dorm room. And I named it that because I wanted an alter ego because I didn't want anyone to know that it was me. I thought that if people knew that I was making the art, they wouldn't take it seriously. I wanted it to speak for itself, so my face and name was not on the page for a long time. With KARO, I knew in the back of my head, I was like, if I had all the time in the world to dedicate to this, I know it won't fail. Like I had this I was like, it would not fail. There's no way because I care way too much. Like, again, I feel like I look like a pastry or something. Okay, we're going down to Cortland Alley, which is my favorite alleyway in New York. and I take all my final photos of my pieces there with my friend Megan. I found it on accident after spray painting in the alleyway when I used to work out of 368. My studio's up 30 blocks, but I still do the whole annoying thing of bringing my piece down on the subway because I just love the spot so much. There's something so beautiful about the lighting there. This piece took the longest of any piece I've ever made in my life.
64 weeks ago, you celebrated your 100,000 followers. Let's put the art and creativity away for a second. Social media facing. What was the strategy behind your social media in gaining 200,000 followers in a year is a lot of people.
I'm like impulsive, but I'm also pretty strategic. Like I made a big deck that I presented to my friends. This is what it's gonna be. This is what I'm gonna do these months. This is the future. This is the tone. This is the marketing. Like here's the audience. I scrolled through my followers and I literally picked real people and I kind of like looked at them and I was like, okay, these are the type of people that comment on my stuff all the time.
So you already focused on the community aspect too.
Yeah.
Like that was just inherently valuable.
Yeah, because I love, I mean, that's like the biggest part to me is like human connection. There's like two people in my life, I think, where I just know I would not be a fiber of who I am today without them, and Megan's one of them. She's like day one when my account had like 1 follower and it was her, and she would like, share, comment on all my posts the second they dropped. She really encouraged me. You said it was like a really steep growth. I feel like it was just like a really slow and steady growth because people would like kind of be in the know, and that's what I loved. Like I loved when I would see the same names and they would like know the lore from behind. And I'm like, when you go viral, you don't get that.
You weren't like, okay, how do I make something that people are gonna engage with? It was like, I'm just gonna make something that's happening. I'm gonna be as authentic as I can be.
Yeah.
Tell a story with it.
I would have a story that I would want to tell, and in my head I'd be like, okay, so how do I make people care? I can't assume that anyone cares about me. Like, what would make someone feel how I want them to feel how I'm feeling, basically, with this.
I'm gonna use my Palo Santo to prop up my camera. Perfect. Okay. So I have a super busy day. Today, the lucky drop day. I got my coffee. I have been really consistent, finally, with like posting every single day a reel / TikTok. I posted a design vlog where it is like a voiceover vlog of me narrating my process. That's her. I didn't send an email. When I hire help, like an assistant or an intern or someone, I gotta get them on newsletters. I can't do it. It's too much. Okay.
Okay. These, I basically wanted to have one like statement staple skirt and pants so that for this shoot that I have for the launch of the new page, I've made way more tops than I have bottoms. And so I needed to dress the models in something that was KARO to make it like a full KARO fit. So it wasn't just like random, the same pants on like the same models with like different tops.
I knew Anya before from TikTok, and then she posted on Instagram not an ad, but like saying she was looking for interns, so I applied in my bed. I was like about to go to sleep. And then she contacted me, and here we are.
But I found out like a year in that she had made a piece inspired. Is it this way?
We can cross right here.
Okay. Because you made something inspired by my artwork, didn't tell me about it for like a year. And then a year later, she whips out this artwork that she made inspired by me, and it was so nice.
I don't want to like seem creepy and be like, oh my god, so this is like everything.
That's not creepy at all. That's the biggest compliment to an artist. That makes me feel so fulfilled and warm. I gotta get a bodice.
A bodice? Oh,
Yeah.
a mannequin?
Mannequin.
A dress form.
The idea of scaling is so intimidating. I don't know, it's just so hard to find like the right person that you can have a good dynamic with and that you trust to let things go. It's like my baby, you know, no one's ever gonna care as much about it as you do, but you can come as close as you can to finding someone that does. It's kind of like an art form in a way to find a good dynamic with someone and make sure that they're feeling inspired and fulfilled, but also like they're helping you get back to what got me here in the first place, which is making the art and creating the art. Like I noticed I was spending 80% of my time on administrative stuff, orders and emails, and it was taking me further and further away from from the art and yeah, what I'm passionate about and what I'm good at, like my skill. Yeah, it's an interesting experience, but Amanda's amazing and I'm so lucky to work with her. She's so talented. No, it sounds cheesy, but I've really seen so much growth in you as like a person and as an artist, and I'm so proud of you. Last year, you did what you had to do, you know, paid for your rents and studios and all this stuff, and like now let's figure out a way to scale and like get back to the art, hire help out so that you can do what got you here in the first place, which is make artwork and design things. And so that's what I'm trying to do this year more.
If you had a pie chart, what would you say your sources of income as like creative are between partnerships, client work, commissioned work, merch drops, you know, all the areas that money's coming in, like what's the percentage split there?
Okay, so I have 3 income streams. The biggest one is actually brand partnership. Last summer was like another big transitionary moment when like a large established management group reached out to me, and I always wanted a female manager because I want my whole team to be women. The KARO store is the second main one. It's not as consistent because I work in drops. Having a clothing brand is not a lucrative business. It can be if based on certain parameters, but like it is so expensive to get the samples done, to place the inventory orders, to like market it, to do the photo shoot, to take product photos, to ship it out. Like it's so expensive. And especially when you're working on it in drops, and there'll be like 2 months in between drops or maybe 3. But it is getting more consistent this year. I started having evergreen collections where they're always in stock.
So you're buying these pieces in bulk, keeping it in storage, and just shipping out as they get.
Yes, yeah. Storefront, brand partnerships, and then I have a side job.
I'm just counting on my hard work to manifest into the perfect place. I've put in the hours, I've put in the good energy. Universe is on its way, and
I'm like completely independent. I have no consistent income because it's always sporadic income. I was like really in my spiritual universe. I will get this studio, I'll find a way to make it work. I don't have the money right now, but I'm gonna find a way to make it work. And then this company reaches out to me. They're a hotel group in New York. They reached out to me and they were like, we love your editing style. We think you're like such a good eye for visuals, and we just really want someone to come in, cover some events, and like be on retainer with us. And then they told me what they'd pay me every month. That would cover the studio completely and then some. And I was right as I was like thinking of getting a studio, worrying about how to afford it. And I was like, Anya, it's showing up right when you need it. And it gives me the freedom to have like the biggest joy of my life, which is this space.
But
Actually,
fun.
And then Justin,
I think this is fine.
what's the most
this is basically the brand reintroduction, the start of a new page. This is something I've been wanting to do for so long. We couldn't figure out how to do, and this is like, I feel like the perfect way to do it is reintroducing the brand, what is KARO, and distinguishing it from my like KARO crafts page, which is more personal and like behind the scenes stuff. I want this to just be like the art and the clothing and the final products, and just be like this artistic outlet and not be so much at the forefront, but just be more creatively like putting it on. And I don't know, this is just the result of months of hard work. I'm on 1 hour sleep, and I'm not tired yet.
This one is
I've been working on this for 9 months, like a baby, and there were so many times where I crashed out because I hated the collection, I hated the piece, I redid the piece.
I redid these things so many times. I switched manufacturers so many times. I got terrible samples like months in a row. Like everything, I felt like this collection was just doomed. I was like, this is never coming out. It was weighing on me and taking a mental toll on me. Like realizing, looking at all of this and being like, it would not be here without me continuing to push forward for it is crazy, because I don't really give myself enough credit. I was like, ooh, I could have given up, but I didn't. So I'm glad I did. And okay, when I think of the words create more, honestly, that is the advice that I give people when they ask me, oh, how do I find my art style? How do I find success in this? How do I maintain motivation? All these questions that I get on a regular basis in my DMs. And like, you have to put the reps in. You have to like actually show up even when you don't want to. The only way you're gonna find your art style is if you keep going. The only way you're gonna learn more about yourself artistically is if you keep going and create more work. And just try, because oh my god, especially when people are like, how do you have the courage to show up online and do this? Like, I've been working on my first video for like 6 months, and I'm like, you just have to post the first one. The first 50 are gonna suck. like, you know what I mean? You have to put in the reps. It takes away the pressure of feeling like everything has to be a masterpiece. It's not one moment of your life. Like, you live an artistic life. If you're an artist, your life is art. You keep making art. You have to keep going. You can't just put all this pressure on one piece or one video, or how you're gonna show up perfectly in this one moment online. It's like, stop.
There's always gonna be more.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be more art to make.
Yes, there's always gonna be more art to make. Take the pressure off yourself and create more.